Welcome back to the France 24 newsroom. It's time now for us to take a look through all the top headlines making the French newspapers today. And joining me here in the studio for that is our newspaper reviewer, Kyle Brown. Hi there, Kyle.
Good morning to you.
We're going to be starting with the uprising in Syria, the battle for Aleppo, getting some coverage in the French newspapers.
That's right, and in particular, Libération. We can see here graphic footage of the latest battle in Aleppo, and we also see that in the headlines there that basically it's a city that's hovering between survival and the final assault. And we have been hearing reports for weeks now, really, of the Western allies, the US, France, UK, promising or pledging to offer some kind of assistance to the rebels, but we've not yet seen it. We can see here on page 3 more evidence of the fact that they're using these ancient Kalashnikovs. They're wearing basketball shoes and sandals. They're
whatever they can get their hands on, basically, isn't it?
That's right.
It's what they can take from the Syrian government forces.
Yeah, so not yet any evidence on the ground of any concrete assistance, although in the background, who knows? So what the Libération is saying is that the protests that are taking place now, very short in duration, but some of the people that they've quoted are saying this is the most time that we've had on the streets to run out, shout, Allahu Akbar, and some anti-Bashar al-Assad slogans, and then they have to run for cover again.
Okay, there's also news of another major defection from the Syrian armed forces. We have, of course, had a whole series of these happening in the last few weeks and months. What's this latest one about?
Yes, here in Le Parisien, we've got a story about a military pilot who's defected, very high-profile defection. His name is Mohammed Ahmed Faris. He's Syria's first astronaut to travel in space. He traveled with the Russians to the Mir station in 1987, and over the weekend he defected. He's joined the Syrian Free Army, and he's one of 20 generals to have defected. So the numbers are mounting, says Le Parisien. They also mentioned that a state TV presenter has defected, and she said that basically she's had it. She's delivered her last bit of state propaganda. So
she's essentially quit her job live on TV then, I take it?
Well, she made the announcement. It doesn't say whether it was live on TV, but she said that she's basically defected and she wants nothing more to do with a regime that she said was part of the major culprit in this continuing bloodshed.
Dramatic stuff. Okay, well, moving on to other news coming out of the Middle East. We've got Humanité with a close-up on clashes between Jewish settlers and Palestinian farmers. Another long-running story, really, isn't it?
Oh, speaking of ancient, this is an ancient story. Here we have the latest in L'Humanité. It's a settlement, a close-up, really, of what's going on between the Palestinian farmers and the Jewish settlers. And the family, it reports, is watching helplessly as some settlements are being expanded. Now, just a bit of background, I think people are probably aware that the Israeli government has an official policy of saying that no new settlements are allowed, but there's something called natural growth. And in this story, we see some of the footage there of the conflicts between the two communities. And what's happening on the ground is there are new mobile homes being put up on the tops of hills, and L'Humanité describes it as the kind of like makeshift military outpost, because what happens is that there are a number of settlers who have, in this report, paid visits, as it were, to the families of farmers, and in some cases have been accompanied by Israeli soldiers. So there's a kind of a threat implied, low-level violence, not the bloodshed that we've grown accustomed to in the region, but nevertheless, the message is clear and the conflict continues.
Absolutely, a very complicated picture it is indeed. Thanks very much, Kyle Brown. Middle East dominating the French newspapers. It would seem that's it for our French newspaper roundup here on France 24.